Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're talking about a brand new thriller film starring Kristen Stewart, and that is Underwater. Before I get very far into this review, I want to let you all know that I saw this film fairly blind. I knew nothing about it other than Kristen Stewart was in it, and it had something to do with water, and obviously that based off of the poster. For all I knew, it was just the next 47 meters down, and thankfully, it's not that. So if you're like me and you know nothing about this movie, the best advice that I could actually give you is stop this review right now. Check out the movie, come back to the review, because the more that I talk about it, the more of your experience I could ruin. This is the perfect film to see blindly, and it is surely not a fandangle. So let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, fandangle, a useless or purely ornamental thing. Underwater follows a group of scientists, technicians, and mechanics in an underwater drilling base that has just experienced a massive earthquake, which has detrimentally destroyed part of the base, and it is only a matter of time before they're buried at sea. Their only hope is to traverse the sea floor on foot to the next base, but who knows what kind of unknown danger awaits them in the deepest depths of the ocean. This is one of those movies that's hard to talk about and hard to review without completely spoiling it altogether, because a big section of this film is a mystery. What exactly is going on in the water that could cause such a massive destruction to a seemingly indestructible base? They ask early on in this film if it really was an earthquake or not, to which the captain says, "I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out." And while they're heading out on their little adventure, that's the question on everybody's mind. What is happening out there? Was it an earthquake? Was it some kind of huge shark? Is it aliens, monsters, something else? After all, they are several leagues under the sea. I almost thought this was some kind of retelling of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, even though I don't know the original story that well. And apparently, I was not the only one thinking about that either, because T.J. Miller's character even brings it up, saying this better not be some kind of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea crap. You want to know what surprised me the most about this movie? It was just how much it felt like a science fiction space thriller like Alien or the like, because they are so deep under the sea that they might as well be in a spaceport. Their heavy, compressed water suits might as well be spacesuits. The dark unknown of the ocean might as well be outer space. The fact that Kristen Stewart's character often runs around in underwear, that brings me back to the time of Alien, with Ripley doing the same exact thing. All of it felt very reminiscent of thrillers that normally take place in space. Now, that might be the case with other under-the-sea thrillers as well. I can't really say that much since I haven't seen many of them, but that is the first thing that came to my mind, and I can't say that I was against it. So, while I can't say that it's technically original, I often felt like it was different, so it had a nice approach to maybe an overdone idea. Now, it's far from a perfect movie. It has its issues, primarily in the people category. There's not enough of a distinction between these characters and their individual importance into what's going on for you to really care about any of them. I mean, they're all in the situation together. They're all trying to do the same thing, basically, and the only person you know who has any kind of special skill set is Kristen Stewart's character, who's, good with computers and mechanics, things like that. But I mean, at the same time, shouldn't they all be? They're all working in an under-the-sea base doing important work, albeit generic and unspecific to the audience, so it's not an over-the-top assumption to say that they all have a similar skill set, which unfortunately blends them all together. You're going to remember this movie more so for who's playing these characters than you're going to remember why they're there in the first place, like T.J. Miller, who's once again playing, T.J. Miller, which is fine, but why is he in an underwater base? What's his role? You got me. I have no freaking clue, but I did like the fact that his character was caring for this stuffed rabbit like it was an actual animal. That's just sad, but it is funny at the same time. I would certainly say that this film is getting a lot more hate on places like Rotten Tomatoes than necessary, because personally, I really enjoyed it, even though I know from a technical level it's imperfect and somewhat unoriginal. That's why my unbiased score is 68%. Nothing special, but because I had a great time with it, my bias score is actually 90%, averaging everything up to a final score of 79%, 79 out of 100 possible stars, granting it with a letter grade of C+, which I guess when you take everything into consideration, it's a fair assessment. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on this under-the-sea thriller. Did you have a fun time with it? Or are you more like the critics that couldn't give two lumpy poops about it? Let me know. As for YouTube, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you like this review, because there's more like it coming out. Hit the thumbs up button, because that always helps out my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon, because that'll help notify you when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out!